The family of Gabrielle Petito reported her missing on September 11, 2021. At the time of this video, Gabby has not been found and the situation is still unfolding. The 22-year-old had been on a months-long cross-country trek with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, who is 23. The couple fixed up and decked out a 2012 white Ford Transit van into a road camper and set off together from New York on July 2nd for what was supposed to be a 4-month trip visiting national parks. The two, who were young, healthy, and in love, seemed to be having the time of their lives. They documented their travels across social media channels. Gabby is the oldest of 6 siblings and had been working as a pharmacy technician to save money for the trip with Brian. They had met at Bayport Blue Point High School on Long Island and began dating after graduation. 2 years ago, they moved to Florida. Their permanent residence before moving into their van was in North Port, Florida with Brian's parents. The couple became engaged in 2020. On September 1st, 2021, 10 days before Gabby was reported missing, Brian returned to their home in Northport. But Brian was alone. No one has heard from Gabby since the last week of August. Brian has not divulged any information to police regarding Gabby's last known whereabouts. Through a lawyer, he has declined to speak with investigators. Brian has not been arrested or declared a suspect in the case. The police have described him only as a person of interest, which is a vague term that often indicates a person that police believe may have been involved in a crime. If we looked only at their social media accounts, it would seem that the couple had no cares in the world. So how do we reconcile that to the current suspicions towards Brian? Gabby and Brian's relationship was not all sunshine, campouts, and skipping along the beach. The following video is taken from police body cam footage dated August 12th, approximately 1 month before Gabby is reported missing. They were pulled over in their van following a 911 call about a dispute occurring outside of a grocery store in Moab, Utah.
What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
I'm Brian.
Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal
Try to
anxiety.
meditate stuff, but you tend to have a lot of anxiety and stress.
I have a lot of anxiety.
And what's his name?
OCD.
Is it Brian? Is he usually pretty patient with you?
Yeah, but it just makes me upset. I know that he definitely gets frustrated with me a lot.
Start at the beginning for me.
Start at the beginning. Well, I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in Beyond Land for the past week or so, traveling around, and the flies here are pretty intense. So the flies have definitely been getting to her, and then my feet are dirty and everything. So I think that our little squabble started because we were hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back to the van, there was some dirt and stuff in the van, and I moved our food around. It was a little disorganized, so she gets a little.
Will you take those two?
Well, I watched. This is what I saw first. Saw him cross the double yellow. I was doing 42 miles an hour. I was, I don't know, probably 2 car lengths behind him, tapping my whales at him, trying to get his attention. They knew I was behind him. And then after he crossed the double yellow, he merged over into the right lane, and then out of nowhere, just boom, went and hit the curb.
So did he tell you why?
He said that she grabbed the wheel and turned it real hard. She said that she was hitting him in the arm. So
Sounds legit. I mean, I'm sure if I'm driving and my arm's on the wheel and I'm getting hit in the arm, I'm probably pulling out the wheel.
So, this is what I'm going to do. I've decided I am not going to cite you for domestic violence battery, okay? It was only going to be a Class B misdemeanor. However, the domestic violence portion of it enhances it. Makes life a major pain in the butt, especially at you're 22, right? So I'm choosing not to cite you today. So you are not going to be charged with anything. Alright? But this is what I do have to do. I am separating the two of you tonight. Okay? I want you guys both to be tonight away from each other, relax, breathe, crying, because there's no reason to be crying now, okay? This is... I understand that this can feel like it's a nightmare, but you're coming out as the golden flower on top of it all, okay?
In this video, both Gabby and Brian admitted to having mental health issues, but the details of these conditions have been redacted from the records released to the public. Gabby does state that she suffers from anxiety, though. What appears to be clear from the body cam footage is that the couple had a heated argument, but afterwards neither was interested in remaining angry or punishing the other. The police determined that Gabby was the primary aggressor in the incident, but no charges were filed. Instead, the couple was told to take a break and spend some time apart to cool down. They fought over minor issues of messy feet in a disorganized van. These are not exactly the issues of life and death. It is not terribly surprising that after so many weeks of living together in the confined space of their converted van, that tensions would rise and patience would wear thin. At a press conference on September 16th, the Utah police said they were not in a position to enforce Brian's compliance and force the information. They believed he was exercising his constitutional right to be silent on the matter, and there was little they could do at that point aside from focus on locating Gabby. But to many it would seem that Brian is the direct link to Gabby. The Petito family, in a desperate plea to gain information, wrote a letter to the Laundries, which was read aloud to reporters on the 17th of September. The family believed that Brian has told his family where he left Gabby.
We ask you to put yourselves in our shoes. We haven't been able to sleep or eat, and our lives are falling apart. We believe you know the location of where Brian left Gabby. We beg you to tell us. As a parent, how could you let us go through this pain and not help us? As a parent...
Brian's sister Cassie is the only Laundrie family member to offer a statement publicly so far. She has stated that, "Obviously me and my family want Gabby to be found safe. She's like a sister and my children love her, and all I want is for her to come home safe and found, and for this to just be a big misunderstanding." Cassie says she is just as confused about the case as everyone else is, and her family badly wishes to see Gabby come home. Protesters took up a place in front of Brian's home in Northport, urging him to come forward and share what he knows with the police. They held signs and chanted, "Where's Gabby?" It has turned a quiet neighborhood into a media circus. Then, after 6 days of pleading with the Laundries to have Brian speak with investigators, the police went to his home on the 17th of September. He was not at home. The family admitted that they had not heard from Brian for days. Brian is also missing. Gabby's family has made their position clear. In a statement released via their attorney, they said, "All of Gabby's family want the world to know that Brian is not missing. He is hiding. Gabby is missing." What we do know is that Brian returned to his home in Florida driving the couple's van, the Ford Transit, which is actually registered under Gabby's name, but the van has not been reported as stolen. The day following Gabby's missing persons report, the van was searched by police. They have reported finding something of interest, but have disclosed no further details at the point in time that this video was created. There is also a timeline that has emerged relating to Gabby's movements and communications, though it remains blurred. The couple were traveling to Oregon when Gabby stopped communicating with her family somewhere in Wyoming in late August. Instagram photos were uploaded to Gabby's account on August 12th and 13th and appear to have been taken in or around Arches National Park. This was about the same time the couple had the police intervene in their argument and is in the same area. Gabby's mother, Nicole Schmidt, has said that she received texts, ostensibly from her daughter, on the 27th and 30th of August. These are the last known communications, after which messages from Gabby abruptly ceased. Gabby's mother refused to respond to questions about whether she believed these texts were in fact sent from her daughter. Police at the Grand County Sheriff's Office are now actively trying to determine whether Gabby's disappearance has any connection to another open case, the double murder of a newlywed couple. Kylan Schultz, a 24-year-old, went missing on August 13th and was found shot to death with her wife, Crystal Turner, who was 38, 5 days later at a campground southeast of Moab, Utah. Apparently, the couple had complained about a creepy guy that was making them uncomfortable in their campsite just days before. Kylan had worked at the Moonflower Cooperative, the grocery store in Moab, where Gabby and Brian had visited the day of their police intervention. On that day, August 12th, she worked until 3 p.m. At around 4:30 p.m., police responded to a domestic violence call made to 911 outside the store. This was the call that prompted police to intervene with Gabby and Brian. So where is Gabby? FBI agents, National Park Rangers, and the police in at least 2 states have been searching for her. Searches in the last several days have focused around Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, specifically around the Jenny Lake area. A witness claims to have seen the couple's van in this area on the 25th of August. Another potential lead is via the app AllTrails, where Gabby had been documenting much of the trip. Her Instagram account has photos posted that align with the app, which suggests there is a link to the locations and travels that can be further explored. Detectives are asking anyone with information on Gabby's disappearance to contact Suffolk County Police, the Northport Police Department, or the FBI. Gabby and Brian were traveling in a white 2012 Ford Transit van. Gabby is 22 years old, white, approximately 5 feet 5 inches tall, and weighs 110 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes and several tattoos, including one on her finger and one on her forearm that reads, "Let it be."